Hi guys, it's Holly here. Today let's talk about an Individualized Education Program, or IEP for short. So come follow along. Okay guys, so today we're going to talk about what is an IEP. And it is an Individualized Education Program. IEP is stand for short. So I'm going to scroll through here. I am on greatschools.org if you want to check this out by yourself. Alright, an IEP is an Individualized Education Program, is a written document that developed for each public school child who is eligible for special education. The IEP is created through a team effort and reviewed at least once a year. Now, before an IEP can be written, your child must be eligible for special education by federal law. A multidisciplinary, misspelled that word, team must determine that 1, she is a child with a disability, and 2, she requires special education and related services to benefit from the general education program. Alright, so I'm going to scroll down about IEP team members. Alright, the members of the multidisciplinary team who write your child's IEP include you, the parents who have valuable insights and information about his and her strengths and needs and ideas for enhancing his or her education. General education for teachers who can share information about classroom expectations and your child's performance. A special education teacher who has training and experience in educating children with disabilities and in working with other educators to plan accommodations. An individual who can interpret the results of your child's evaluation and use results to help plan an appropriate instructional program. A representative of the school system who knows about special education services and has the authority to commit resources. Individuals with knowledge of special expertise about your child that are invited by you and or the school district. Representatives from transition services agencies when such services are being discussed. Your child when appropriate and whenever transition is discussed. Alright. The contents of the IEP. The IEP is a document that is designed to meet your child's unique educational needs. It is not a contract, but it does guarantee the necessary supports and services that are agreed upon and written for your child. At least the IEP must contain these pieces of information. Alright, so it says present level of education performance. Information about your child's strengths and needs is presented by teachers, parents, and the school staff who evaluated him or her. Comments will be made about how your child is doing in the classroom, observations and results of state and district-wide tests, and the special education evaluation, including individual administrative standardized tests are reviewed. Besides academic needs, any other areas of concern that have been identified, such as language development, behavior, or social skills, should be discussed as well. Now, let's talk about the goals. The next step is to write measurable goals that he or she can reasonably accomplish in 1 year. Goals are based on what was discussed and documented and present levels of educational performance and focus on his needs that result from the disability. Goals should help him or her be involved in and progress in the general curriculum and may be academic, social, behavioral, self-help, or address other educational needs. Goals are not written to maintain skills or help him or her achieve above grade level. The requirement for objectives and benchmark with which to measure progress towards goals was eliminated from IEP requirements with the 2004 reauthorization of IDE. However, the law now states that the child's IEP must include a description of how the child's progress toward the annual goals will be measured and when periodic reports on the progress the child is making towards annual goals will be provided. For example, at the same time, report cards are issued for all students. Alright, so I'm going to scroll down. It says special education and related services. Once the IEP is written, the team has to decide how to put it into action. The school district is obligated to provide a free, appropriate public education, FAPE, in the least restrictive environment, LRE. So the IEP team considers the way to the maximum extent appropriate for both to educate your child alongside kids without a disability. Special education is a set of services rather than a specific place for your child to go. The services your child needs to reach the goals and objectives and how they will be delivered are identified. For most kids, the general education classroom will be the preferred setting, but a range of options is available, including special day classes. In addition to the above, the following are part of the IEP. All right, so I'm going to scroll down. And I'd like to say on the special, day classes, my daughter attended those. And what it is kind of like a timeout for them to give them kind of like a breather. So my daughter in her IEP had angry art. So angry art was to just throw paint with a paintbrush on some art canvases or whatnot, or paper or whatever they had at the school. And she could get out some anger that way. That was one of the things that I had them put in her IEP. And sometimes it was just to get out of the classroom, to get a breather and do her schoolwork in another setting. And like I said, it looks different for each child. Not all children will look the same on their IEPs, and that's what works for those children. So let me see. All right. So let's scroll down. Your role at the meeting. Okay. So parents often feel overwhelmed when they attend an IEP meeting because so many people are there. And yes, there are a lot of people there. The time goes by quickly and you may feel rushed. Education jargon can be hard to understand, yet you're supposed to be a full participant in the meeting. Here are some ideas that may help you to reduce your anxiety, increase your participation, and facilitate the process. I would like to say, pay attention to everything. Ask all the questions you want. If you feel like you're being rushed, say, hold on just a moment. I have a few more questions, okay? So communicate regularly with the school staff so that you'll have an idea of what the teachers may say at the meeting. Prepare your thoughts before the meeting by writing down the important points you want to make about your child. If you like, ask to have your information included in your child's IEP. Take someone with you to serve as your support system. If a spouse or a family member can't attend, ask a trusted friend to go with you. If you decide to bring a friend or advocate, you should inform the school so that they are aware of whom you are bringing. Be prepared for them to question who the person is and why you have decided to include them in the meeting. The school should tell you if they have a specific policy on their attendees at the IEP meeting, which is very important. All right. Ask questions if you don't understand the terms being used. If necessary, arrange to meet with individuals after the meeting to review their statements or reports. That's important, guys. So if you don't understand, ask. Learn their terminology, be familiar with it so that you can advocate for your child, okay? Try to stay focused and positive. If anyone becomes frustrated or angry, ask to have the meeting continued at another date. It's hard to develop an IEP when emotions have taken over the process. All my IEP meetings, there has never been any frustration or anger or anything like that. Everyone has been very professional and answered all my questions. The only time I think that there might be some frustration or angry is when your child is at the age of where they can attend the meeting. That could be a little frustrating for them. All right, so remember that you can sign to show you participated in the meeting, but you don't have to agree to the goals or services at the meeting. You can take the IEP home to review, get input, and return later. But make sure when you do this, you get a copy of the paper with everyone's signature on there, okay? That's important, and keep it in your files. So what happens next is a written parent permission is necessary before the IEP can go into effect. If you agree with only parts of the IEP, let the school know so services can begin for your child. Once you sign the first IEP, you have granted your permission for the school to provide ongoing special education services for your child. Although You may change your mind after signing the IEP and withdraw your permission. You should be aware that this action may have legal implications. Consult with an advocate before taking this action. Write a letter to the school that tells why you've changed your mind and which parts of the IEP you disagree with. Most likely the school will want to hold another IEP meeting to discuss your concerns. The IEP is reviewed at least once a year. However, if you or the teachers believe that your child isn't learning or making progress or has achieved the goal sooner than expected, a meeting may be scheduled to revise the IEP. If you feel that an IEP review meeting is needed, put your request in writing and send it to the school and or district administrator. Now, if you're going to send in a request, make sure you keep a copy of that, because I noticed some school districts lose things, or they say this didn't happen, and just kind of cover your bases, okay? You're advocating for your child. That's what you're doing. So work collaboratively with the staff responsible for your child's IEP. Ask what you can to do to reinforce skills at home, okay? So those are some really important, good things to take into consideration. And remember that, your child is who you're concerned about. You're not concerned about hurting these people's feelings, which don't go in being rude, but you're here to advocate for your child and get the best stuff that you can for them. Okay, guys? Okay, guys, so I really hope this was helpful. Remember to get yourself a copy for your files, and like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.